Well, there have been medical reports that say sitting is the new smoking, but a new study suggests that just 1 hour of physical activity a day, simply or something as like a brisk walk or a bike ride, just may undo the increased risk of early death that comes with sitting 8 hours or more on a daily basis. So, Dr. Samadi, I want to start with you on this one. You know, I mean, people looking, we hear these things and then they just go, okay, just give it to me straight. How much exercise is enough?
Well, there's a lot of debate about this because if you look at World Health Organization, they talk about 30 minutes, 150 minutes a week. If you look at American Heart Association, they talk about 30 minutes every day. So it goes back to exactly what do we need. And based on this study, first of all, the new disease called sitting disease, it could be as bad as high cholesterol, it could be as bad as smoking, and all of that can increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Sitting for more than 5 hours a day, this is a Journal of Circulation last year, increases the risk of heart disease twice, doubles the risk. So what do we want America to do? Start moving and stop sitting. Only 25% of America is actually moving and exercising. Based on this study, you should be doing about an hour a day. If you do about an hour a day of any exercise, brisk walking, and by the way, it doesn't have to be continuous. You can break it down into many different segments. If you do about 60 minutes a day, you can delete the risk of 8 hours of sitting. We're sitting more because we're behind TVs and computers, and sedentary lifestyle is really big risk. So start moving.
Dr. Mark. Yes, got it. But, you know, this is just coming to my mind. What about those people who are confined to the bed due to medical issues or can't really walk because they have to use, you know, a wheelchair due to a medical condition? How are they to get their exercise?
That is a really important question. And the answer is, of course, things like physical therapy. Upper body exercise can translate to lower body exercise. You have to do more of it, but certainly if you can't use your legs, you want to use your arms. The other issue here, that this is the first time that a study has ever put together the idea of being sedentary and not moving at all versus how much exercise you would need to overcome that. Arthel, if you sit for 8 hours, you need to exercise for a full hour. We're talking about at least brisk walking. I prefer biking or running or using the elliptical if you can, because walking, everyone says they did exercise, but maybe they didn't walk enough. If you do 3 or 4 hours of sitting, you don't need as much. You need 30 to 40 minutes a day. And here's what's really fascinating about this that no one's seen before. Guess what? If you're sitting in front of a TV and that's your sitting, it's worse. In other words, if you sit in front of a TV for 4 hours, even if you exercise for an hour, you're still going to die earlier. You still have a higher risk of diabetes and heart disease and high blood pressure and stroke, these big killers. The exception is going to be Sunday house call. If you sit here watching Sunday house call, then exercise, you're fine.
Well, the other thing that came out of this study that was interesting was that it's dose dependent, meaning that if she does an hour and a half a day and I do only 30 minutes, she's going to be living longer, she's going to have a lower risk of heart disease, and these are new things that we find. So what do we do in our office? Because we're sitting behind the computer, now you have standing desks that you should be doing, and there are many apps that you can basically program it on your phone that would alert you you're sitting more than 30 minutes, and they would basically you move around.
Walk down the hallway.
That by itself
I'm come
is
down,
very
walk
helpful.
into your office and
this is a great point.
This is a great and say hi.
This is a great point because you need less of it if you do that. Yeah, the Fitbits or your Apple Watch.
So are you using it?
Eric is knocking on your door saying, hey, I want to come talk to you. All of that walking back and forth, it decreases the amount you need to use that bike or that elliptical. So it's a combination. I agree. Stand up, have a standing desk, walk back and forth, go to the cooler, get your coffee, come back.
What I found about Fitbit is that it disciplines you and pushes you. Whether it's accurate or whether it's Google Health is more accurate, it doesn't really matter. When I was wearing it, it was forcing me to go up the stairs. I was looking at it. It's a biofeedback. It really is a way to stimulate and your mind to make sure that you put that bagel down or you basically take more steps. America, start moving and stop sitting down.
One more tiny point to add here. I want to make a point. My personal opinion, you need to break a sweat too, if you can. Walking is not a substitute for some activity. Go to the gym, break a sweat. It will change your brain hormones. You'll feel full. You won't eat as much. Drink water.
Great advice.
We'll take anything at this point.
And by the way, you're welcome to come to my office anytime, stairs or elevator.
I'm not going to call you anymore.
I know, you're welcome.
I'm just going to go walk up the stairs and walk around.
Come on up.
I'm going to walk all over this building. No